your new $1,000,000 idea probably won't work. And here's why. My name is Sohail, and ever since I was a kid, I've always been interested in tech, gadgets, and inventing things. When I was just 15, I invented this. It's a robot that cleans windows. Check this out.
This is the gift that keeps on giving. You have to check it out.
Sohail Abdullah came from New Zealand to compete.
I came home from school one day and my dad was cleaning our living room windows.
When did you realize that you were really, really smart?
I don't know.
The humble 17-year-old makes it sound like it's easy to just whip up a robot in 9 months.
It's only about 3 kgs. It's not very heavy, is it? You can lift it up. Yep. What would you like to be when you're older? Because this is pretty clever.
Engineer, yeah.
Gordon, you already said that you want to buy this, don't you?
Absolutely. I'd love one of those. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? As long as it would also, though, if we need to develop the version 2, which actually moves from one window to the next. So you can literally just set it to go, come back at the end of the day, and all your windows are done.
There you go. Work on that, son.
After working on this project in high school, I then went on to study engineering at university, and eventually got a few years of experience working as an actual engineer. But every time I was thinking of new ideas, I would ask myself the question, I wonder if someone would buy this. And then I'd think, maybe if I build it and then try and sell it. Not only did I realize that that was the wrong way to think about new ideas, but I actually had no idea how to sell anything. That's when I decided to go back to university to study entrepreneurship and commercialization. See, I wanted to know what makes an idea truly successful. Everyone has ideas. Some have great ideas, but there's a difference between an invention and an innovation. An invention is simply the creation of something new. An innovation is when you take that invention and turn it into a solution that is not only valuable, but accessible and practical to the end user, often a paying customer. Essentially, an innovation is the successful commercialization of an invention. Think about the Wright brothers who invented the first airplane. That was an invention. But modern aviation, with its commercial airlines, global accessibility, advanced safety systems, is an innovation that took that invention and applied it to address real-world needs. See, the number one reason that startups fail is because there's no market need for their product or service. People simply don't want to buy that fancy new gadget you're thinking of creating. Young engineers like myself, and I'm definitely guilty of this too, often get caught up thinking in terms of product features when coming up with new ideas. As an engineer, it's often very tempting to make building a prototype the number one priority. But prototypes require a significant investment of time and money, and all that effort is basically wasted if there's no demand for your idea. A better way to frame your thinking is to ask the question, what problem am I solving? And who am I solving this problem for? You might argue that because your idea is so unique that without actually building it, people won't know that they need it. I think it was Henry Ford that said, if I asked my customers what they want, they would have asked for faster horses. But Henry Ford understood the problem that he was solving for, which was bringing down the cost of cars to make it more accessible to the middle class. Even Albert Einstein said that if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions. Even today's most successful entrepreneurs, when asked about their companies, will spend the majority of their time talking about the problems that their companies solve. Don't get me wrong, prototyping is a very important step in turning your idea into reality, but it's just one factor in a multivariate equation that ultimately determines the probability that your idea will be successful. See, when you first come up with an idea, what you really have is a set of assumptions. You're assuming that your core technology will work. You're assuming that there's demand in the market for your idea. You're assuming that if you use a subscription-based business model with a direct-to-consumer marketing strategy and leverage 3PL distributors locally while using cheap overseas packaging, that you will be successful. See, a good place to start is by listing all of your assumptions and then getting to work by validating each one, starting with the ones that have the most risk. While I was studying entrepreneurship, I was shown this really neat checklist that shows all of the different areas to consider when validating your idea. It covers everything from validating your technology to competitor analysis to your go-to-market strategy. It's a really helpful tool to help you think more critically about your ideas and uncover any potential gaps. But having a more well-rounded framework for your thinking will improve the probability that your million-dollar idea will ultimately be successful. And that leads me to why I'm creating this YouTube channel. I want to learn what makes an idea successful. So we're going to deep dive into past and present innovations and uncover the factors that made them successful. We'll also look at failures and what we can learn from their mistakes. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe to the channel and let's find out what truly makes ideas successful.